Yo, what's going on? It's Low. I'm just going to pick up. I don't really got an intro. I'm just going to pick up off of the last video because everything's going to build on each other. It's going to be a continuation so that we go on the journey together. We explore it together. And so in the last video, it's pretty much laying out the observation of what's around us, how we live in society, the atrocities that happen on earth, natural disasters that happen on earth, evil that people do, the evil that's in systems that we have to operate within, and kind of examining the average life from birth. So like we'll be born, we'll be taken care of by our parents for a little bit, and then we'll eventually work for a company, and we'll spend the rest of our lives providing the company with labor and paying for our existence. So we'll pay for our existence until we die, right? So we pretty much laid that out in the last video. And the reason I wanted to lay out, this is the way the world works right now. The reason I wanted to go in that direction, because I wanted to question, why are we here? Like I said in a previous video, are we here to get rich? Are we here to have generational wealth? Are you here to be successful? You were born to be famous and known. You were born to, so I bring that up because our why is very important, and because it tells us our purpose, right? So some people might think they were destined to be a doctor, and so it's like, I was born so I can save lives and I can treat people with injuries and illnesses and help them live longer. And then all the people that the doctor treats dies. Like everyone that the doctor treats dies. Not immediately, you might prolong your life, but all of us have a due date. So someone might think that, their purpose is to be a motivational speaker, and, they help motivate people and get them fired up to execute their goals. And what I'm saying is, most people will root their purpose in some kind of service towards others, to help people. Now, why I'm bringing that up is because we have to ask, why do we need to help people? The reason we need to help people is because we live in a broken world. We live in a fallen, imperfect world. Lack and deficiency is the only reason help even means anything. Service means anything. People get sick, a doctor can help them. If there's a problem, then you help with solutions. So you have a bunch of people that have things going on in their life. You have a bunch of events that goes on that changes people's lives for the worse. And so you have people out here who are trying to live a purposeful life that needs to help them. And then we need to ask, all right, well, why? Like, why is it like this in the first place? For us to be here trying to fix it. Why do we need to fix it? Why is it good to fix it? Why is it good to help someone? That brings up our conscience and our morality and things like that. And I think that leads us to our how. Because when you start questioning, well, how did we get here? The how will tell you everything you need to know about the why, based on where you lead to. For example, if you're a naturalist or materialist, you're a science-based person, you believe that everything came from nothing. Oh my God, freaking that. You believe that everything came from nothing, and we evolved from, life evolved from non-life, and the way humans act, the human nature, is just a series of evolutionary advancements. And we don't have a purpose other than surviving. So if you leave it there, our purpose is to survive. Philosophically, or metaphysically, when you're taking a look at what science can't reach, then you start to think about, okay, what if there is some kind of creator? What are they like? What is the nature of it? And religion actually is what gives the identity of the unknown questions, or the unknown force, or the unknown being. It's the revelation of it. So depending on what route you take, it's going to tell you everything you need to know about your purpose and why. So if we just evolved, into this, then everyone that is suffering right now are just unfit. And the people that are thriving, they're just the fittest. They know how to work the system, and that's it. That's what it is. And it'll be like that until we destroy ourselves, or AI destroys us, or the sun blows up, whichever one comes first. Philosophically, you're stuck in that questioning, but I don't know realm. And then religion brings you to the revelation, and you get to learn about the nature of the creator and creation. And if you know who created you, then you know why they created you and what you're supposed to be doing here in relation to that being. So we're at the part where now we need to examine what makes the most sense. And this is a big part of the reason I started this channel, because I don't believe that all of these things purely contradict each other and that you have to choose one between one. But I do believe each of them need to serve their function. And when they try to step outside of their function, it's inaccurate, and it's mostly argued with bias. It's not actually using your mind. It's the need to be right that fuels everyone behind it. I say that because I believe that science explains the natural world. Testable, observable, measurable. That's science. But we have an immaterial part of this existence, and we know this. That's why we have consciousness. That's why we have emotions. That's why we have perception. That's why we have a gut feeling, intuition, things that are immaterial that can't be explained necessarily by science. They could be hypothesized, not true theories, not true answers to them. But when science hits its ceiling, you can look to metaphysics and you can explore the unknown. Okay, what logically adds up? What makes sense about existence? Well, we know everything that exists needs to have a cause. Once you go down that rabbit hole, okay, there can't be an infinite number of causes. All right, well, where do we stop at? All right, maybe it's this thing called God. Okay, well, in order for it to cause all of these things without being dependent on the cause itself, this is what God needs. These are the attributes God needs to have. Can't change, has to be eternal outside of time, since we know by science that time, matter, space, and energy came into existence almost at once. And once you hit the ceiling with metaphysics and asking those questions and examining, then you have to scrutinize religion, because it takes off. Once you hit the ceiling, you hit the floor of religion, which is revelation. That's what we should call it instead, And all religion can't be true. It's impossible. It's logically impossible. So then you have to start scrutinizing them. And I'm not saying every person that's trying to figure out the truth has to go to every religion. You can literally shortcut this by logic, which this channel is going to help you do. But actually, I'm going to do the long work for you. All you got to do is watch, and I'll just show you what makes sense and what doesn't. But you look at the revelation and you start looking at the traits, the stories, the nature of the being, the nature of the humans, the relationship between them, and then you hit another ceiling. No, you thought you were just gonna get the answer straight off the bat? No. You hit another ceiling, and at the end of that ceiling, it's called faith. It's called faith. And it's called faith because there's elements of every single last one of these ideas that have unexplained, that has unanswered questions, excuse me. And because they have unanswered questions, you need to have faith in what kind of gaps you want to believe in. Do you want to believe that nothing could come from something? Do you want to believe that life can come from non-life? Do you want to believe that God is unknowable in nature, and even if he exists, do you want to believe God is knowable in nature and he's personal and he wants a relationship with you? Do you want to know if there's many gods? Do you want to know? Then you have to start scrutinizing these things to see what makes the most sense. But here's where most people will lose. Most people will lose at going against their own tradition, going against their own religion, going against their own family, going against their own bias, going against their own need to be right, going against their own pride. Most people will lose there, and they're never going to really seek. Most people will lose at their emotions, you know? And so you're never gonna make it there if you can't put your own thoughts and ideas to the side for the sake of investigation. You don't even have to believe me. You don't have to believe him. You don't got to believe her. But you need to take yourself out of your own shoes to be objective and investigate. And I think most people lose there. But if you don't want to, keep watching this channel. Keep watching this channel. Subscribe, like. I don't know if you don't follow on YouTube. What else do you do? Comment. That was the one I was looking for. So comment and just meditate on the things that I'm talking about and follow me, because we're going to get into the nitty-gritty of all of it. All right, peace.